Welcome to the UGC EPG Pathshala lecture series in computer science. In this series of lectures, we have been looking at a subject, database management system. And for the past few sessions and for the continuous session, I will be talking on some of the advanced concepts of database management system. For today's session, we will be looking at temporal databases. Some of the learning objectives for this session include: initially I will try to introduce why this temporal database is required and what purpose does it solve, and I will give explanations to the features of temporal databases, and I will make you understand the various concepts like valid time, transaction time and bitemporal times in the temporal database. Finally, I will introduce on various products that holds this temporal sequences. Initially, to say a few words on temporal database. A temporal database is a database with built-in support for handling data involving time. So, anything that is relevant of the time being related to the slowly changing dimension concept, for example, temporal data model and a temporal version of structured query language. So, any database, if you look at in normal, will not consider time as one of the aspect and will never get changed. Say for example, if I am about to store the entire history of a particular person who has been relocating for different places right from his birth till his death, whatever activities that he is doing, if I am about to come across the entire database, it is over a period of time. So, it is temporal. So, that is one of the example that we will be considering for this temporal database in this particular session. As I have told you, this temporal database has three different times in its purview. One is called a valid time, second one will be a transaction time, and the last one will be bitemporal time. When we look at a valid time is nothing but a time period during which a fact is true. That means, when I am trying to run an application to collect all this data, the application which is running, which has its own time, so that time will be considered as the valid time. So, a time period during which a fact is considered to be true with respect to the real world. Now, the real world, what I have mentioned you is the application. So, any application that I am trying to run, whatever time that was set for that particular application will be considered as the valid time. Same is not the case with transaction time, where the transaction time is defined as a time period during which a fact is stored in the database which is considered to be true. So, both are the time periods which are considered to be true no matter of point, but then the time for valid and transaction are completely different with each other. Say for a transaction time, any system time or a database which is having a specific time, that time will be considered as a transaction time. So, transaction time is defined in this form. It is a period during which a fact stored in the database is considered to be true. Involvement of both these time periods becomes your bitemporal. Bi means two. So, taking into consideration both the valid time and the transaction time becomes the bitemporal time. So, bitemporal time is a combination of both valid and transaction time. Looking at some of the features of this transaction temporal database, a time period data type including the ability to represent time periods with no end. With no end, it can be infinite or it can be forever. Say for example, I am about to store a person's record in my Facebook account. So, I am a new person has signed up with the Facebook. In that particular juncture, I would say the person who has logged into Facebook, the complete record is taken, and if you ask me a question, how long is this going to continue, I do not have a definite answer. So, it becomes infinity or it can be forever. So, the ability to define valid and transaction period, attributes and bitemporal relations. System maintained transaction time, temporal primary keys including non-overlapping period constraints. Temporal constraints including non-overlapping uniqueness and referential integrity. So, we will check for the validity of these data on the temporal constraints that we will try to post. Updation and deletion of temporal records with automatic splitting and coalescing of time periods. Temporal queries at current time points in the past or future or over durations. Predicates for querying time periods often are based on Allen's time relations. So, those have been some of the features of this temporal database, but then we will try to understand why this temporal database is required. So, for which we need to understand the history of this temporal database. Previous versions of SQL, structured query languages, does not use temporal or a time base. During 1992, Richard Snodgrass, who proposed this concept of temporal extensions to SQL, be developed by temporal community. Later it was reviewed in the year 1992 and it was sanctioned in the year of 1993, where it was said TSQL2 version 2, which carried temporal database. So, second version of SQL has carried temporal database, that is why it has been said as TSQL2. An attempt was further made to incorporate all the parts of TSQL2 into some of the new SQL standards, which was the standards were from SQL 1992 and then it was called SQL 3. To better understand on the temporal concepts, let us try defining one of the database. Let us assume this as the current database. In this current database, I have attributes like date, real world event, database action, what the database shows. Supposing that I have a scenario called a person who is born on a specific day, he has shifted from one place to another, he has graduated, he has shifted from that place and he has shifted to a work location, and finally he died. So, all these are a sequence of activities that is happening from the that has a strong beginning and a strong end. But then we would never consider that when does it happen, and there can be a mismatch on the person who completed. Say in case I can take up a particular student and if I check for the database would respond saying that the person was born on a particular date, but before that it would say he has graduated. The person may be alive, but then he would be said he is dead. So, to avoid these kind of discrepancies in the database tables, these temporal relations serve better for us. So, by considering that in the current database, let us consider, for example, on April 7, 1992, a person is born, let us name him as Kannan, and let us think that this is not been updated to the database. So, it is just a transaction that is happening, but then it is not been updated to the database. So, database has nothing to say about it, and what is being shown in the databases, there is no specific person called Kannan. But father of the newborn person has updated the records on April 8, 1992, that means the second day of his birth, and says that officially reports to Kannan's birth. So, a new person is being inserted. So, the new person is Kannan and place of birth is Delhi. So, a person is born, a person record is created and it is been updated that the person lives in Delhi and that date is also being mentioned. So, Kannan lives in Delhi would be the update that is happening in the database and along with the time period. Let us shift for some more time, say in the year of 2015, August 26th, this person is graduating, Kannan moves to Chennai for his job location, but forgets to register this new address. So, as with our database, although Kannan has transferred himself or Kannan has moved to Chennai from Delhi, since he has not updated all these records to the database, the records would show that Kannan still lives in Delhi. So, database action has been nothing because no address has been registered. So, what the database shows is Kannan still lives in Delhi. On December 26, 2015, that means exactly about 4 months from the actual change of place, when I check for the database, I do not seem to give the register of change of address here again, and it says nothing has been mentioned. So, database action is nothing, Kannan still lives in Delhi. But I see on 27th December 2015, that means after a day, I change the new address, Kannan registers his new address. That means I am trying to update this person Kannan who has transferred himself from Delhi to Chennai. So, now when I check with the database responds saying Kannan lives in Chennai. In the year of 2020, on April 1st, let us say that person dies. So, that record need to be deleted. So, a person named Kannan will be deleted from the database. So, the database will show an action of there is no person called Kannan. So, we have created a person called Kannan and we have deleted a person called Kannan. So, that all happens, entire history is being maintained within the same table. So, I have just assumed only 5 or 6 transactions that is happening over a period. Although it has been a sequence, there can be a lot of discrepancies between that. Say a person can be there or a person has shifted on August 26, 2015, but I cannot say records updated saying that in the year 1995 itself Kannan has changed his location from Delhi to Chennai. So, that may not be possible. So, with this consideration, with this in mind, we will try to assume what exactly is valid time and what exactly is the transaction time. As I have already said, valid time is supposed to be the time with which the application considers itself that it has been changed. Say for example, with valid time April 8, 1992, Kannan has been registered into the records. So, the record will say April 8 will be the date of birth of Kannan and it would say Kannan lives in Delhi. And on December 27, 2015, when Kannan has been changing his address from Delhi to Chennai, so that particular time will be considered as the valid time. Likewise, April 1st, 2020, when Kannan is dead, then that particular time will be considered as valid time. Same is not the case with the transaction time, the actual time with which it has happened. So, let us consider the valid time. Valid time is a time for which a fact is true in the real world. A valid time period may be in the past, may be in the current time, or it can occur in the future. So, let us consider from the example that I have hinted here. As far as my current database is concerned, Kannan is born on April 7, 1992, but then this is supposed to be the valid time, whereas the transaction has happened on April 8, 1992. So, the day of April 7, 1992 has passed. So, when I make an entry on the database, it is actually on April 8, 1992, but then it stores on the previous day's record. So, valid time is actually April 7, 1992, but then the transaction time is April 8, 1992. So, that is what we are trying to say it here. So, a person named Kannan who lives in Delhi and is born on 7th April 1992 is very clear that that person is born on 7th April 1992, and we will not be able to say clearly that how long this person is going to live. So, we are putting a value called infinity. So, this shows clearly that the valid time of this particular transaction, the starting time would be on 7th April 1992 and it will be until infinity. I have another record which is somewhere in between. I say Kannan has transferred or Kannan has relocated himself from Delhi to Chennai. In that specific juncture, how would I update the record? Here comes that update person Kannan Chennai, instead of Delhi I have mentioned it as Chennai, on 26th August 2015 to infinity. So, what I am trying to say here is a person who is named Kannan, who has now shifted his place from Delhi to Chennai. Delhi is not known. So, Chennai is his recent living space and he has occupied this position or occupied this particular place on 26th August 2015 to infinity. And the third record which shows and the same person has been living in Delhi for a longer period, so that also need to be correctly updated in the records. So in future, when somebody asks the question of what is the period in which Kannan lived in Delhi, so in that particular juncture I may have to clearly note the day in which he has registered himself in Chennai, then I have to delete all his records from Delhi or transfer all his records from Delhi to Chennai. So what I am trying to update is Kannan was born in Delhi, and from the day he was born he was living in Delhi, and till 25th August 2016 he was with Delhi, and on 26th August he is continuing in Chennai. So how long we may not know, but then this period has been clearly defined, it is not an infinity. From Delhi he has relocated to Chennai. Now the person living time might be infinity, but then the person who lived in Delhi, there has been a defined period. So 7th April 1992 to 25th August 2015 Kannan was living in Delhi. So that updation has been made, whereas in this I am trying to update a fresh record which says Kannan has relocated himself to Chennai and he started his living in Chennai from 26th August 2015, and it will be until infinity. So that is what we are trying to provide it from the current time. So let us take for example the valid time for Kannan's birth is April 7, 1992. So this is not a valid time for him, this becomes a transaction time. So if you ask me to update the valid time of Kannan's graduation, then it would be 26th August 2015 when Kannan got graduated. So on the same day, if Kannan has shifted himself to Chennai, then the valid time for the Chennai address would be 26th August 2015, and the end time for Delhi address would be 25th August 2015. And when I check for when he is no more, then it would say 1st April 2010. So these are the three valid times that we will enter in the database. So valid times would be April 7, 26th August and April 1 of 2010. So those are the valid time slots that we will consider with the temporal database. Likewise, considering the current database, there is one more time which is where all the records have been updated. So that becomes the transaction time. So transaction time records are the time periods during which the database entry is accepted to be correct. So if you look at the same current database table, I haven't registered myself that the birth of Kannan is on 7th April 1992, but my system records say the system time says it to be April 8th 1992. So the transaction time period can only occur in the past or up to the current time, it can never be the future, whereas that has happened with the valid time. So in the transaction table, records are never been deleted. So when we consider transaction times, we are considering the actual system time along with it, so it can never be deleted. Only operation that we could perform on a transaction time would be updation. Only records can be inserted and existing ones can be updated by setting their transaction end time to show that they are no longer current. So only insertion and updations are possible, there is no procedure of deletion with respect to transaction time, whereas when we considered the valid time, insertion, deletion and updation were very much possible with the valid time. Considering the same person table, this person table will have transaction when it has started. So from and to time will also be inserted. So transaction from time is the time of a transaction was made, and transaction to is the time at which the transaction was superseded. So this makes a complete statement towards getting into a bitemporal time. So as I have stated earlier, bitemporal time is nothing but the time, both the valid time and the transaction time. So when I have got a from and a to time which is clearly identified on the person table, then in that particular case I am trying to define what a bitemporal table means or what a bitemporal time means. So if you look back to the example what I have given on person, say Kannan who has lived from to. So this is a time which says both from and to, this becomes a bitemporal time. So, to define what a bitemporal relation would mean, a bitemporal relation contains both the valid and the transaction time. So, this provides both historical and rollback information. By historical information, I mean where did Kannan live in 1996. So, I am asking about the history of Kannan. So, I am asking a previous data, where did he live in the year of 1996. So, this has to be provided. I look at the valid time for providing details regarding the earlier dates. So, I will consider on the valid time where did Kannan live between this duration. I will check for the between duration and say that Kannan lived in Delhi in the duration 1996. Whereas, the same will not be the statement when it comes to rollback information, where the query will be something like in 1996 where did the database believe that Kannan lived. So, there is a lot of difference between the first questionnaire and the second questionnaire. The first question is very clear that where did Kannan live. So, it is very straightforward question, whereas the second question asks about the complete of transaction time that happened over the period 1996. So, the valid time and the transaction time do not have the same for a single fact. So, any fact that has happened on a specific, say a day or an event, that may not be a valid time and the same cannot be a transaction time. So, these two times are completely different, as I have already mentioned that. So, by now we should be very clear on what a valid time and a transaction time would be, and the later aspects of why we have considered a bitemporal time. Now, we will try to look at some of the products which are using this bitemporal temporal databases. Let us consider Oracle database. So, Oracle Workspace Manager is a feature of Oracle database which enables application developers and database administrators to manage current, proposed, historical versions of data in the same database. So, who wanted that? Only the managers and the database administrators. They need current data, proposed data and the historical versions of the same database. So, all three data will be maintained as a temporal database, as I have told you. So, Oracle uses this. Not only Oracle, there is another product which uses the same temporal database, which is PostgreSQL. Only at the later version, say version 9.2, they have added a native ranged data type that are capable of implementing all the features of PG Foundry temporal contributed extensions. In the IBM DB2 version 10, they have added the feature called time travel query, where some of the queries like historical and the rollback queries that I have earlier mentioned were considered for IBM DB2's applications. And it was there, it is also temporal database has also been included in Microsoft SQL Server, introduced in temporal databases as a feature of SQL Server 2016. In short, in this particular session, we have looked at what a temporal database means. Any database which considers the aspect of time, whether it could be a start time or it could be an end time or from two times, then it will be a component of temporal database. And I have given you a clear indication of how this database is maintained, but what is the importance of inserting this time into the database by looking at an inconsistency scenario. So, there can be discrepancies that can happen, or there can be inconsistencies that could happen on a current database. For avoiding those things, we are inserting this temporal sequences. Then I have introduced on two notions which are called valid time and the transaction time. Valid time is nothing but the application running time with which the database is actually being processed, whereas the transaction time is supposed to be the system time. And we have looked at the bitemporal time also. And later part of it, I have told you about some products like Oracle, PostgreSQL, IBM, Microsoft. They have been including all the standards that temporal SQL has provided. They have been using temporal databases for their own applications, and by way of using these temporal databases, it would be even more effective because we are considering the time as one of the aspect in the normal databases. Thank you.